Thank you, Chairman Nels, and thanks for having this hearing today. Thank you all again for being here and being willing to testify. I represent the first district, the big first district of Kansas. Aviation is a critical industry in Kansas, as you all know, with roughly 100 general aviation airports, several commercial and regional airports, a huge footprint in aviation and aerospace manufacturing. The FAA Reauthorization Act of 2024 included critical provisions to ensure that our aviation industries are able to improve services, bolster our workforce, and promote American innovation. Just a handful of questions for you, Mr. Boland. As you know firsthand, Kansas plays a vital role in general aviation, from aircraft manufacturing to training our next generation of pilots. As we look back 1 year after FAA reauthorization, where do you see the most critical opportunities or shortcomings in implementing workforce provisions, particularly those workforce provisions aimed at strengthening technical education and expanding aviation careers in the rural part of our country?
Yeah, I think the bill was excellent in outlining the importance of workforce and in funding certain grant programs. The Aviation Maintenance Technician Program and the Pilot Pathway Program are two outstanding examples of the focus on aviation careers that is necessary. And I think what we are seeing, and Kansas is a good example, Salina particularly with Kansas State Salina, with its focus on emerging technologies, AAM, unmanned systems, shows that as our industry is evolving, so too are the career opportunities. I think the hard part for us is making sure people are aware of those opportunities. I think a lot of people do not see themselves as part of aviation, but particularly as new technologies are coming in, that has the ability to captivate and motivate people. I think we're seeing this as advanced air mobility is really beginning to draw attention, drones, commercial space launch. There are a lot of opportunities. The more people are aware of it, the more we have an ability to recruit, develop, and retain the best and the brightest wherever they're from.
I agree, which is right into my next question. You mentioned Salina, where you grew up, my hometown. Salina's become a test bed for emerging aviation technologies, including unmanned systems and advanced air mobility. A year after FAA reauthorization, how well, in your view, has the agency done in supporting innovation hubs like Salina by providing the regulatory clarity and infrastructure support needed to scale these technologies and ensure long-term industry competitiveness?
Yeah, I think what we're seeing is the FAA is recognizing the importance of innovation and the importance of bringing new technologies forward. And so whether it's signing the SFAR to enable advanced air mobility operations or the focus that we are seeing placed by this administration on things like the drone technologies coming forward with the BVLOS rules, I think all of that suggests that there is a need for hubs, as we like to call them, places where industry, academia, and government can come together. And Kansas State Salina is an example of that.
Yeah. Last question, again, for you, Mr. Boland, a little different direction. In your testimony, you discussed the urgent need to overhaul our nation's air traffic control system, which this committee's talked a lot about. You brought up the topic of ATC privatization. You mentioned NAV Canada is often hailed as an example of a system that works, but that it actually overpromises and underdelivers. What did you mean by that?
Well, I think there are a couple things inherent in that. One, ICAO, the International Civil Aviation Organization, has done a safety audit of Canada, and what they concluded was that it was operating on a scale of 100 at about 65%. It is the lowest rating of any G7 country, and it's lower than 38 other countries. So safety is an issue, and they talk about the inability of Transport Canada to really oversee NAV Canada, the air traffic system. We also see reports coming out about terrible shortages in air traffic controllers, delays that are coming out. We saw just last week a pilot got on the microphone and said, we're being delayed because we don't have enough air traffic controllers. And then it focused on an operator and owner of a small airport in Vancouver that talked about 20-minute to 2-hour delays are routine, and they're only flying 20-minute legs. So I think a lot has gotten ahead of itself about what they have in Canada. The reality is the United States has the largest, the safest, the most efficient, and the most diverse mix of aircraft and operations in the world. This is about finding ways that America, our innovation, and our ingenuity can take us forward.
Well, thank you for the insights, and thank you all for being here. I yield back.